Tonight, the Wolverines look to stay undefeated on their home court, but Portland State is going to have a lot to say about that. The Vikings are in the house. Vikings and the Wolverines coming up next right here on UVU TV. Looking at the UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah, where tonight the Wolverines of Utah Valley 5-5 on the season, but they're undefeated in this building, playing host to the Vikings of Portland State. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. Utah Valley, what an interesting season so far. They win, they lose, they win, they lose. They can't win two in a row to save their lives. They lose them all on the road, but they win them all at home. Meanwhile, Portland State comes in here 5-2, but they have won 3 in a row coming in here. Let's talk about Utah Valley, though. A Tuesday night game that they could have won, Matt.
Yeah, I think going along with what you said, they're searching for a little bit of consistency here. Tough game Tuesday night at Utah State in the Spectrum, a tough environment. We saw some good things from the Wolverines. We saw some things that they could definitely improve on. I think that they're going to look at that game and walk away and say, we had an opportunity to win that game. They unfortunately did not come away with the victory and have to move forward from it and learn from that game. And there's no better place to start a new winning streak is here at home.
Well, they're undefeated here at home, 5-0 thus far, 5-5 on the season. Tonight, Portland State, a team that they have played 6 times. Portland State has won every one of those before. Wolverines feel like this is their best chance.
Yeah, and definitely at home. And you mentioned it, how good the Wolverines are at home. So they're going to see a tough team tonight coming in from Portland State. They're going to have to be well prepared and well focused if they're going to come out the victor tonight.
All right, so let's talk about that tough team from Portland State. Key players for both teams tonight.
Yeah, we love looking at these matchups. We're going to take a look first at the Wolverines. Isiah Williams averaging 15.2 points per game on the year. Ben Aird, 6.8 rebounds per game per year, and Geddes Robinson averaging 10 rebounds per game. Those players are going to have a large impact on the game. Isiah from the perimeter, and it's going to be very important for Ben and Geddes to have an impact inside as well.
And for the Vikings of Portland State?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at 3 of their better players here. We've got Charles Odom, who averages just over 17 points per game. Nate Lozeau averaging nearly 9 rebounds a game. And Shuhalis Tapscott, who averages just over 9 rebounds per game as well. Now, these players are going to match up well with the key players for the Wolverines.
Yeah, both these teams match up really well, as you said, and we're expecting a pretty close game. So keys to victory for either one of these teams tonight?
Yeah, it's funny how these things, a lot of times we talk about them and they play out during the game. So we'll watch for that during this game. Keys for the Wolverines, they've got to have strong defense in the paint. They've got to shoot well from the perimeter. When they do that here at home, they have success. And at key points in the game, they're going to have defensive stops. For Portland State, they've got to dominate the interior. They've got to have some presence inside tonight. They've got to do a good job being aggressive on both the offensive, defensive rebounding, and perimeter defense. We know the perimeter players that the Wolverines have. Let's see how Portland State tries to match up with them early on in tonight's game.
This one should be fun. Vikings and the Wolverines. We're going to take a break. Back with more Costa Vida pregame show. Your starting lineups and your opening tip coming your way right here on UVU TV.
I'm Joe Luce, an anthropology student at UVU, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm sharpening my mind and my skills.
Patty Garcia, a geology student at UVU, and this is Engaged Learning. At UVU, I'm learning by doing.
Welcome back to Orem, Utah. Utah Valley and Portland State finishing their final warm-ups. Wolverines 5-5. We talked about it before the break. 5-0 in this building. It's the 0-5 on the road that's got everybody scratching their heads. What the heck's going on? Portland State, meanwhile, 5-2 overall, but they're 3-0 at home. They're just 2-2 on the road. So road woes, not that unusual early in the season for a lot of teams, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see that. A lot of good teams go on the road and lose basketball games, games that you wouldn't expect them to lose. Just goes to prove the point that playing on the road is much different and much more difficult than playing at home. And I think that the Wolverines have definitely found that to be true so far this season.
Portland State comes in here having won 3 in a row, and 2 out of those 3 were on the road. They were in the Jim Thorpe Classic up in Laramie, Wyoming. They knocked off Louisiana Tech and Maryland Eastern Shore by 18 points and by 10 points respectively, then went home and beat Walla Walla by 55 points. So they're riding a 3-game winning streak coming in here. Starting lineups for Portland State now. Michael Artoon starts at guard, averaging 8.3 a game. He's a redshirt junior from Medford, Oregon. Chehalis Tapscott at forward, 6'5" senior from Hillsboro, Oregon at 13.1. Nate Lozo at center, 6'10" senior from Marysville, Washington, averaging 13 a game. And Lateef McMullen at guard, a freshman, 5'11" from Tulsa, averaging 7 points a game. Charles Odom, their leading scorer, 17.4 a game, gets the other start at guard. He's 6 foot tall. He's a senior from Lakewood, California. They dim the lights here in the UCCU Center for the introduction of the Utah Valley Wolverines. Utah Valley comes in here averaging 65 points a game. Portland State 75 points a game. And I misspoke before the break when I said these guys had played 6 times and Portland State had won them all. Portland State has won them all, but they've only played 3 times, not 6. So this is the 4th meeting between these two. Last year, Portland State won up at Portland by 20 points. It was 73-53 was the final there. Portland State on their way to a 14-16 record last year. Meanwhile, Utah Valley finished 19-11. They just turned it on the second half of the season, losing only 2 games after Christmas or after New Year's. Utah Valley starting the same 5 that pretty much have started all season long, with just one exception, that being Keith Thompson. He has started 9 out of their first 10 games, and he starts tonight. Keith Thompson, a senior from Bellflower, California, 7 points a game. He's 6'6". He'll play the forward position. He can light it up in transition. He's struggled as of late in his last 5 starts. Talked to him a little bit earlier. He said, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it tonight. I'm going to have a big game. Keith Thompson will be wearing number 33. Starting the other forward position, Geddes Robinson, averaging a double-double, 11 points a game and 10 rebounds a game. He's 6'5", a senior from Bronx, New York. He'll be wearing number 15. At center, Ben Aird, 6'9", sophomore out of Bountiful, Utah, averaging 7.6 a game. Big Ben, just a sophomore. At guard, Holton Hunsaker, 6 foot tall, sophomore, North Salt Lake City, Utah, averaging 5 points a game. And starting at the shooting guard, the All-American from last year, averaging 15 points a game, standing 6'1", a senior from Chicago, Isiah Williams. Williams, Hunsaker, Robinson, Thompson, and Aird get the start. That's 3 seniors and 2 sophomores for Utah Valley. Meanwhile, Portland State counters with a fairly young team. They will start all 3 of the seniors on the roster, 1 junior and 1 freshman. They carry 6 freshmen on this roster, do the Vikings. Portland State, coached by Tyler Geving in his 3rd season, 32-37 overall. Meanwhile, Utah Valley, coached by Dick Hunsaker, his 10th season here at UVU. Coach Hunsaker, 172 victories, just 102 losses in his career here at UVU. Closing in on 350 career wins, by the way, when you add in the places he's been before tonight. Interesting matchup, Matt, between two old high school teammates. Keith Thompson of Utah Valley and Charles Odom of Portland State were on the same high school team back in at Mayfair High School in California.
Yeah, as you were saying, probably a pretty good team there, so they're going to be familiar with one another, and we'll have to watch for the matchup if they go against each other at some point in the game.
We're underway here at the UCCU Center. Utah Valley controls the opening tip. That's Holton Hunsaker. Keith Thompson's first touch, fires inside. Out to Isiah for three. And Portland State with a rebound. Odom, first touch, first shot. Isiah with a rebound for UVU. Both teams missed their opening shot. Isiah tries to drive in, stripped away. Odom pushes it ahead, stolen away by Hunsaker. 3-on-1. Geddes Robinson misses point blank. The pace is frenetic, back and forth, and the first foul comes against Keith Thompson against Nate Lozo.
What do we have? 40 seconds to play. We're going to see there a foul there by Keith Thompson on Nate Lozo. 40 seconds to play. I think they've been up and down the court 6 times each, it feels like it. This has definitely been the fastest start to any Wolverine game we've seen this season. And Portland State's trying to push the ball off turnovers. The Wolverines are looking to push the ball. It's been a great start for both teams as far as energy and emotion so far.
If there's been an Achilles heel for this Wolverine team, it is the fact that they have gotten off to so many slow starts.
Yeah, and I think that's something you can't do is put yourself behind early on in the game. You know, there is a lot of basketball, obviously, if you do get behind, but I like the tempo that the Wolverines have come out with as we see the ball skip through Ben Aird's hands there for another turnover.
McMullen with it. Over to Hartoon. Didn't take the open shot, gives it back to McMullen. 2 free throws so far. McMullen's jumper. That's where he was open before. He didn't take it. He liked somebody guarding him, evidently. 4-0.
Yeah, nice shot there. Just a simple facing the basket, reading what the defender did. Took kind of that one dribble to the side. Nice pull-up jump shot.
Working it inside. There's KT, Keith Thompson. His first 2 tonight. Old high school teammate Odom. And a nice dish off inside, the layup by Lozo. 6-2.
You know, a couple things early here. Portland State's looking to get out in transition. I mean, they're looking to get the ball out. They've got some deep outlet passes a couple times on the wing there. Wolverines are going to have to make sure that they shore up their transition defense. They've been a little shaky to start the game here.
Geddes Robinson partially blocked. The rebound comes down to Portland State. Lozo's a big kid, 6'10", 270. He's a senior, one of 3 seniors I mentioned earlier who's all-star for the Vikings. Little hook shot won't go. Ball batted out of bounds. Wolverine basketball.
Best defensive possession there from the Wolverines. I like what they're doing on offense early here. You know, they've done a very good job of getting the ball inside. They've only had 1 shot from the perimeter, and that was from Isiah on a wide open 3. But the first play coming out, very first play, they looked to get it inside to Ben Aird. They've tried to get it inside to Geddes on a couple other possessions, but I like what they're doing as far as working the ball inside. That's one thing we talked about as a key to the game is, you know, they're going to have to do that. They're going to have good play right off the bat from Ben and Geddes.
6-2 here in the early going. 2.5 minutes gone at the UCCU Center. We're in Orem, Utah. Utah Valley and Portland State. KT. Well, I mentioned that he said before the game, I'm feeling it tonight. I don't know. Did you play harder when an old teammate was on the court with you?
Not necessarily. I mean, obviously you want to play well, but it just looks like, you know, he's come out and is backing up what he had told you because he's played great. Got a couple good screens on that last basket. Gets called for a defensive foul here, but, you know, he's been very aggressive on the offensive end. He's got 2 easy layups.
His second, and usually Coach Dick Hunsaker, when one of his players gets 2 fouls in the first half, he sits them for the rest of the half. You still got 17 minutes left.
played 3 minutes, and he goes to the bench.
And sorry there, Jim. What I was going to say is that's very frustrating. I mean, you played great coming out playing well offensively, and then you get those 2 quick fouls on the defensive end. And, we got 17 minutes left. It just puts you in a bind. I'd be surprised. We may see him a little bit later, but more than likely he may be on the bench for the rest of the half.
And you got to know Keith Thompson's not happy about that. He's got all 4 of the Wolverine points up until that tip in from Ben Air. Ties us up, 16.5. Hartoon kicks it out to Odom. 3-pointer off. Alfonso Hubbard pulls that one down. Hunsaker drives in, tries to split the gap between 3, and runs over at least one of them.
Yeah, this was definitely a good call, because we'll see here, Holton just tried to push the action. It's a tough call there. I mean, the charge that was taken there by Charles Odom wasn't straight on. It was more on the side or more on the, the shoulder. But that's an instance where I think that the ball needs to be pulled out. It was a difficult path to the basket going through 3 defenders there. Maybe more advantageous at that point just to pull the ball out.
Wolverines on the break. Keabi Enos has a shot blocked by Tapscott. Tapscott pleading his case, but he's going to get called for the foul anyway.
Nice dish off here from Alfonso Hubbard. That's another difficult call there, because Shuanos Tapscott did look like he went straight up. Jumped in the air, went straight up, had his arm straight up, but a nice job of running the transition offense by Alfonso Hubbard, getting it to a point where he was able to pass the ball off to Keabi, and give Keabi a lot of credit for running out in transition as well.
Wolverines have their first lead on the free throw from Keabi Enos. He's in the game, by the way, as Utah Valley has elected to go with 3 guards. Keabi, by the way, hasn't missed a free throw now this season. He's 11 of 11. Hasn't been there a lot, but he buries them when he does. 8-6. A little 6-0 run by Utah Valley. Keabi will jump a long 2. Wow. And I understand when this kid gets hot, look out. He can light it up.
Yeah, and a great job of getting out in transition. I've said it all along and all year. I feel that the Wolverines are at their best when they're out and running and they're in transition. They proved that here tonight, and a great jump shot there from Keabi.
4-point lead for Utah Valley. Portland State just can't get anything to go down. Wolverines on the run again, 4-on-2. Hunsaker for 3. Holton Hunsaker has just been ice cold his last few games. He's got 2 baskets in his last 4 games. Isiah might have got away with a little push that time. Left Loza open inside.
Yeah, Nate Loza does a very nice job of getting the ball. And when he doesn't have the ball running in transition, of getting right to the rim. I mean, he's going to be a player in tonight's game who's going to be around the rim. He's not going to be out around the perimeter. He'll be hanging around that rim, and the Wolverines will have to account for that.
Keabi Enos again. His first miss of the night. Portland State looking to tie this with a 2. Tapscott. Wolverines come away with it. Little reach-in foul going to get called against Lateef McMullen. Brings us to our first media timeout. Wolverines leading this one by 2 here at the UCCU Center.
Dawn is breaking at Utah Valley University. 33,000 students are descending on campus. What are they after? Knowledge? Opportunity? They might be pursuing an MBA, an automotive certificate, or a bachelor's degree in philosophy. But despite their different paths, they share a common understanding.
Think back to when you were a child. What did you dream of becoming as an adult? A pilot? A teacher? A nurse? Maybe a mathematician? A mechanic? or a scientist. Now imagine a place where everyone is focused on your success. Imagine an education that is personal, engaging, fun, and professional. With an education from UVU, all of this becomes true. Utah Valley University. It's your dream. It's your university.
10-8, Utah Valley with a 2-point lead. Keith Thompson with 4, Keave Enos with 4 for Utah Valley. For Portland State, Nate Lozo, 6 out of the 8 points. Harthen's got the other 2. Neither team shooting lights out here in the early going. Portland State just 3 of 9 from the floor. Utah Valley 4 of 10. Hunsaker forces it inside. Cannot. I'm telling you, this kid cannot buy a basket.
It's been pretty hard to come by for him the past couple games, but it just seems like a lot of times when you can get that first one to go and when you can see it go through the rim, when you can see that ball go in, it's great for him to get to the free throw line here, get a little bit of rhythm on the offensive end.
Well, he is a great free throw shooter. Second longest streak in UVU history last year. His first points tonight. In his last 4 starts, he hit a 3-pointer Tuesday night against Utah State. That was his only basket of the game.
That was that banker from the corner, right?
Yeah. The game before that, he had 2 free throws. Didn't even score from the floor. The game before that, shutout. The game before that, he had 1 basket. He has 2 baskets in his last 4 games.
Looks like Portland State on that possession was trying to post up. Shuhalis Taps got an unforced error there from the top.
Isiah's 3 is no good. Pulled down by Portland State. Hartoon misses. They're going to give this one to Portland State.
And I think the point needs to be made. I mentioned it briefly, but Portland State's looking to get out of transition. They're looking to run. So we'll watch the rest of the game here, this transition defense of the Wolverines.
Hartoon gives over to Odom. 13.5 to play here, first half. We're in Orem, Utah. Utah Valley hasn't lost on this floor yet this season. And Renato Parker gets his first 2 points as a Portland State Viking. He's the transfer from North Idaho Junior College. He was All-American in junior college last year. Again, can't get it to go. Wow, there's a long 3. Tapscott with the rebound, back up and in.
Well, one of our keys to the game was that Portland State needed to be aggressive rebounding tonight. You know, they've done a good job defensive rebounding, but I've been very impressed with their offensive rebounding. The Wolverines have given up some easy offensive rebounds, and Portland State has taken advantage of it.
We're tied at 12. Hunsaker missed that 3. Portland State with an easy rebound. Gary Winston, one of those 6 freshmen on the roster, into the game. It's Winston with it now. Sets up the Viking offense. Hanging jumper. Good. Good looking freshman.
Yeah, nice job of coming off of the pick, you know, being aware of what his options were. He could have passed that ball off, but he made a nice creative move. Great pull-up jump shot. And yeah, exactly right. Good looking freshman. That was an impressive move.
Geddes Robinson working against the All-American Parker. Ties it at 14.
What did he do there? That was that pump fake again. He is so good at that, getting that ball in the post, spinning around the defender, getting his shoulders parallel to the basket, and then he just goes, does his pump fakes, does his shot fakes, up and in.
Geddes Robinson and Parker, what a battle. They're both 6'5". There they go again. Parker showing why he was a JUCO All-American last year.
And if we're going to give credit to Geddes, we've got to give credit there to Parker, because that was a great up and under move as well. These 2 players I think we're going to see this matchup, and obviously the Wolverines will have to account for Parker being, as you said, the first game for him.
Yeah, due to NCAA transfer eligibility rules, he had to sit until tonight. Another media timeout, 11.5 to play. Wolverines down by 2 to Portland State.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
Dawn is breaking at Utah Valley University. 33,000 students are descending on campus. What are they after? Knowledge? Opportunity? They might be pursuing an MBA, an automotive certificate, or a bachelor's degree in philosophy. But despite their different paths, they share a common understanding.
Portland State starting to warm up a little bit. 47% shooting for them, just 36% percentage for Utah Valley. And Portland State leads by 2 right now. This Parker kid coming off the bench for Portland State, 2 of 2 shooting already in just 3 minutes. He's got 4 of their 16. Nate Lozo with 6, still the leading scorer in the game.
Yeah, an interesting stat to me, Portland State has 12 points in the paint so far, 12 of their 14. I think that they're trying to take advantage of what post-up matchups they may have, whether it's posting up a guard or their big man. They're looking to get the ball inside, and they've been successful so far.
Kevin Woods into the game for the first time. Woods had a spectacular game Tuesday night against Utah State. Came in when the Wolverines were down big and hit 3 huge baskets right in a row. Isiah, hanging jumper, ties us at 16.
That's what we need to see of more from Isiah. I love seeing, the three-point shots that he has, but he has an incredible ability to create off the dribble. Love seeing him create and get shots off of his ability to get into the paint that way.
Well, jump hook is good by Nate Lozo. 2 pretty evenly matched teams going at it tonight here in the UCCU Center. Whistle away from the ball. Going to go against McMullen of Portland State.
Yeah, Ben trying to set a screen there for Isiah Williams on the wing. A little bit too aggressive there from Latif McMullen. The pace has slowed down a little bit, wouldn't you think, Jim? I mean, I've seen, just a complete difference from the start of the game until now. Teams are starting to get more into a half-court type offense.
I think they're tired, man.
Yeah, they used up all their energy in the first 2 minutes.
Big Ben misses from outside. Portland State with yet another rebound.
And just as I say that, Portland State gets a shot off within 3 seconds, so maybe they're not as tired as I'm thinking.
Kevin Woods, there you go. I'm telling you, Kevin hit 3 in a row against Utah State and gave Utah Valley life in that game Tuesday night. UVU went on to lose that one, though, by 9. Just part of that roller coaster season they're on. They win, they lose, they win, they lose. We talked about it in the pregame show. Portland State now missed their last couple. Kayavi back the other way. And back we go the other direction.
I've jinxed them. I've thrown the jinx on them. They've definitely picked up the tempo. Just as I say, they're starting to get more into a half-court type offense.
McMullen with it. Coming up at 9 minutes left here, first half. McMullen, little floater, won't go. Parker right there for the rebound and back up and in.
Yeah, lack of communication there from, I believe it was Kevin Woods and Geddes Robinson there, both trying to get that rebound. Once again, just another opportunistic play there from Renato Parker off of the offensive rebound.
Ben Ayer ties us at 20. Ben's got 4 points. Renato Parker, by the way, off the bench with 6 already. Hartoon. What a reverse hook shot. Wolverines coming back the other way. Williams into the lane, hanging. Got the nice roll.
That's something I was looking at here. As far as the biggest player for Portland State, that's Nate Lozo. He has 3 blocks on the year. Yeah, they don't have a shot blocker or someone who's maybe going to challenge around the rim. Kevin Woods, Isiah Williams, and even Cavi Enos can get to the rim and have easy shots because there's not really a presence inside.
And we're tied again. Had 3 lead changes and about 5 ties here in the early going. Still got 7:45 to play, first half. A whistle going to go against Cavi Enos of Utah Valley. That'll bring us to another break. 22-22. We're all tied up here at the UCCU Center.
What makes you feel the need to pretend to have green fever?
Well, it's totally real. Just because I'm different.
I can see the magic marker in your pocket. Well, why don't we focus on ways that you can actually get green fever? Like wanting hands-on experience or wanting a degree from UVU that will actually help you in the real world. I think Beverly's made some real progress today.
Well, we've talked about it several times that Utah Valley is undefeated in this building, but here's another interesting stat, Matt. Utah Valley is undefeated if they hold their opponent under 59 points. Anybody who scores 60 or more, Utah Valley loses. And the way this game is going already, I'm not so sure they're going to be able to hold Portland State under 59.
Yeah, we've seen that this has definitely been a fast starting game and looking more like an offensive game than a defensive game, which is good because, you know, I think that the Wolverines can score and they're going to have the ability to keep up, but where you win those games and where they've won at home is defensively.
2 even teams shooting both 45%. That air ball will give the possession over to the Wolverines. Kevin Woods and Hunsaker running guards. Does that move Hunsaker to the shooting guard when Kevin Woods is in?
Yeah, well, the Wolverines have gone kind of small as far as on the perimeter with this lineup here. I mean, they've got Kevin, Holton, and Isiah all in the game. As you said, we don't see that too often. You know, we don't see these 3 players playing together. I think it's for defensive purposes to guard Portland State on the perimeter. So I think that's what they're trying to do with this matchup and the lineup that's in on the floor.
Gary Winston's first foul, 5th team foul against Portland State, 4 fouls so far against UVU. Coming up on 7 minutes left here in the first half. We're tied at 22. Ben Aird working against Lozo. 2 big bodies going at it. Portland State on the run. It's McMullen inside to Lozo. Working against Geddes Robinson. Wow. That is one nice looking hook shot.
Yeah, and he's causing fits for the Wolverines defensively. I mean, they're just getting the ball into him without any type of pressure. He's getting the ball right where he wants it, and he's finishing. And that, you're right, what a beautiful hook shot.
He's got 12. What a move by Geddes Robinson. To tie this thing at 24. Lozo picks up the foul. Geddes gets the and one.
Yeah, you see Geddes get the ball on the perimeter near the 3-point line. You don't see him in that situation very often. But what he did a nice job of realizing the space that he had to the rim and realizing that the only player in between him and the rim was Nate Lozo, and saw that opportunity to attack, as Nate's probably not the quickest or best defender, perimeter defender, or defender on the wing that Portland State has.
UVU by 1. Thanks to Geddes Robinson, old-fashioned 3. Here's the new fashioned 3 from Portland. Won't go. Geddes Robinson with a rebound. He's running the floor. Isiah, he'll jump it for 3. Tapscott with a rebound for Portland State. Back and forth they go. A lot of fun this game.
Let's see if the Wolverines maybe do any type of double team here. Well, it looks like
Lozo working against Ben. He traveled.
See, they didn't try and do any type of a double team. What they did do is Geddes did a nice job of realizing that Lozo was trying to back down Ben Aird and saw the opportunity as he takes those dribbles to try and strip it away from him. But a better job that time from Ben of holding his ground and not allowing Lozo to just back him down in front of the rim.
Alfonso Hubbard into the game. Geddes Robinson will take a breather for UVU. 5:45 to play, first half. Wolverines nursing a 1-point lead. Kevin Woods working against Odom. To Big Ben. Hubbard tried to, I don't know if he was dishing it off or just lost the handle. Portland State, Odom on the run, banks it in. And he'll get to shoot a free throw. Isiah Williams called for the foul.
Yeah, nice move here from Charles Odom. You see faking one way, cutting back the other. Nice job of Isiah getting back, but he was just moving when he was when Odom ran into him. You know, those turnovers, when you have turnovers, when you have long shots with long rebounds, you have to make sure that you're getting people back in transition. And off of a turnover like that, it puts your defense in scramble mode, and you're just trying to prevent a layup. At that time, Charles Odom did a great job of converting the layup.
2-point lead for Portland State, 27-25. 5:20 to play, first half.
Another thing here with this lineup that Portland State now has, they've gone small. I mean, the biggest player that they have in the game is Shuhalis Tapscott at 6'5", so they've definitely gone to a small lineup.
Big Ben at 6'9", the biggest player on the floor right now, and they tried to get the ball into him, went off his leg, out of bounds.
The intention was good there. They were trying to get Ben Aird posted up, but Alfonso, I think, was caught in a tough spot there, trying to either throw the pass without a bounce or throw the bounce pass, and got caught in between, and it's like it hit Ben right in the knee, out of bounds.
Teams even at turnovers. Shot from outside, no good. That one from Odom. Here comes UVU on the run again. Hunsaker shot blocked out of bounds. They're going to call a foul on this. They're going to go against Portland State's Hartoon.
I think whoever's been bringing the ball up for the Wolverines, whether it be Kevin Woods, whether it be Isiah Williams or Holton Hunsaker, I think they've done a very good job. Anytime you're in transition and you're a guard, your first look is to the rim. And if you don't have that, you're going to look to dish it off to other players in transition or pull the ball out. I think that the Wolverines have done a sufficient job so far of, when the opportunity is there, attacking and getting to the rim.
Well, we told you earlier, he's just deadly from the free throw line. He just can't get a basket to go down otherwise. But he ties us up at 27. Tapscott working against Geddes. Robinson forces it up and in.
Isolation play there, but a tough finish there from Tapscott.
29-27, Portland State by 2.
We've got Coach Geving in front of us here begging for a foul on that play.
Neither team's been able to break out by more than a 4-point lead. Under 4 to go now here in the first half. Wide open jumper from Winston. Misses the 3. Utah Valley basketball. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. 3:43 to play. Utah Valley down by 2 here in the early going.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
Well, we talked about in the pregame show, Matt, neither team shooting well from three-point land. Portland State 0 for 5, Utah Valley 0 for 6. But other than that, they're pretty evenly, well, I guess even with that, they're evenly matched, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at this. We've got 24 points in the paint for Portland State. 24 of their 29 is in the paint. 18 of the 27 for the Wolverines is in the paint. So this game has definitely been about inside the paint. It hasn't been so much so far about the perimeter play, but it's been about the interior play. I mean, those are incredibly high percentages of points in the paint.
Nate Lozo doing damage inside for Portland State. He's got 12 points. Only player in the game with double figures. Holton Hunsaker buries the three. 30-29. He's probably thinking, wow, wouldn't it be nice to get this thing on track? But Portland State comes right back the other way.
Yeah, nice job of posting up. I think that Shuhalis Tapscott is a great post player from what we've seen, and they're definitely looking to get the ball inside. He's kind of a tough matchup for the Wolverines. They've played Geddes on a couple of times. He's definitely a tough matchup for him in the post.
Tried to feed it into Ben. He missed the shot inside. Foul going to go against Portland State. They'll call this one against Renato Parker. His first, team's 8th. It's a 1-and-1 for Big Ben. Aired just a 45% free throw shooter this season. Sophomore. Misses it, won't get another as Portland State tracks it down. 31-30, Portland State by 1. 2:45 to play till intermission.
They're trying to get that ball back inside to Tapscott and see if they reverse the ball and let him post up.
Odom working, can't get it to go. Keavi Enos with the foul for Utah Valley.
Charles Odom's a very crafty player. You see him driving right with the spin move, kind of a brief hesitation before he goes up. Very tough and very difficult to defend. Obviously spun away from the help defense that came over. He does a very nice job of getting into the paint. Only 6 feet tall. I'd be surprised if he's even that tall, but he does a nice job of finishing upwards towards the rim.
That's the first missed free throw for Portland State. They're now 3 of 4. Two-point lead for the Vikings, 32-30 over the Wolverines.
Portland State's done kind of this little token one-man press on that play. It was Shuhalis Tapscott giving the Wolverines a little bit of problems getting the ball in.
Isiah goes up for 3. Bottom. Wolverines back out in front. 33-32. Very entertaining first half here at the UCCU Center. Odom looked like he might have got tangled up with Geddes Robinson in the lane. They're going to call the foul on Geddes.
Yeah, tough play here for Geddes to guard because I didn't see exactly where, but he did get switched off onto Charles Odom. That wasn't the matchup that they initially wanted. They were looking to post up Shuhalis Tapscott on Alfonso Hubbard, so maybe those two players were the one that got switched. But anytime you get when you're a guard player and you see a big man guarding you, you want just a little bit of space. so you can create and try and get as far and get it close to the basket as you can. And I think that Getty's just got a little over anxious there and reaching in, trying to strip the ball away.
Portland State retakes the lead by 1.
See, here's that token pressure that I was talking about. It may not seem like a whole lot, but it kind of gets the rhythm out of your point guard bringing the ball out just initially.
Geddes Robinson working hard inside. Followed by Hubbard won't go. Geddes Robinson does get it to go. UVU by 1 with 1:38. Block from behind. Wait for the official call on this one. They're going to call Ben Aird for blocking.
Yeah, see, there was no contact there. I mean, Ben simply fell down. I think he was trying to, get a little bit of acting in there, trying to get that call, but there was absolutely no contact. I think the referee assumed there was contact because he called it from the perimeter where the offensive player, Odom, driving to the rim was blocking his view, but there was definitely no contact there. Ben just tried to draw the charge and didn't work out.
Odom's got 7. We're tied at 35. Under 1.5 minutes left now, first half. Isiah. Hunsaker, long 2, got it.
All it takes is one, Jim. I mean, that's what I learned from my playing days. All it takes is one. When you're having a couple games where you're not playing really great, you just need one shot to go in.
Holton Hunsaker, the leading scorer for Utah Valley now with 9 points. That foul's going to go against Tapscott, Portland State.
Yeah, difficult call there because to me it looked like Shuhalis Tapscott was set on the perimeter when setting that screen. I mean, there's just so much contact. When you've got defenders, and Holton does a very nice job of ball pressure, and so when he's getting screened, he's going to try and go through that screen, or he's going to try and go over the top of it. And in that case, I think he took it head on, and the official saw some contact there. I thought that was a difficult call to make. We see a stoppage here. To me, it looked like a pretty good screen is the bottom line. Unfortunate break for Portland State.
There's some debris on the court. Looks like a piece of tape or something. Still UVU basketball with 58 seconds left here in the first half. Wolverines with a 2-point lead. Hunsaker's got the hot hand. Still Wolverine basketball, 43 seconds left.
Yeah, good play there, run. I mean, they had to set a number of different screens there. Isiah was trying to set a screen for Ben as well as Alfonso. Nice defensive play to deflect the ball away.
Isiah misses from outside and a foul inside against Hubbard of UVU. His first. Both teams with 9 fouls each, so we'll walk back down and shoot free throws at the other end. Brennan of the 1-and-1 is good. He'll have another. It's a 1-point Wolverine lead. Michael Hartoon, 6'3", redshirt junior from Medford, ties this thing up at 37.
We've got 40 seconds left here. Obviously, the Wolverines are probably going to try and run the clock down as much as possible. If they get a great open look, they're going to take it. But more than likely, they're going to run the clock down. Key being is if they miss the shot, they've got to get back in transition defenses. There will, theoretically be only 5 seconds left on the shot clock if they wind it all the way down.
Geddes Robinson, floater in the lane, got the shooter's roll. 39-37.
I don't think that's how they drew it up, but it worked out for Geddes. He did a nice job of creating, getting into the middle. It's the old, off the wrong foot, one-handed jump shot there, but a nice finish there from Geddes. 15 seconds left. See how the Wolverines play defensively and what Portland State's going to try to do offensively.
And Portland State took a little 30-second timeout. We'll stay here with just 15 seconds to play till intermission. Teams started fairly cold. Now they're both shooting about 46-47%, but UVU 2 of 8 from three-point range. Portland State 0 for 5. Turnovers dead even, 6 apiece. Yeah, we told you these two teams are pretty evenly matched coming in here, and first half has proven that.
Yeah, definitely been a very exciting first half. We've seen a lot of good play from both teams. One thing that's key here for the Wolverines is they don't want to foul. They're going to not want to foul here. Kevin's getting some good pressure, but don't foul and put him at the line to end the half.
Odom has it. 6 seconds. In the lane, hanging jumper. And what else? We're tied. Wolverines cannot get a shot off before the buzzer. We've reached halftime here at the UCCU Center. Utah Valley and Portland State all tied at 39. Back with our halftime show after this.
I'm Sylvia Bentley, an anthropology student at UVU studying ancient Peru, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm graduating with a diploma and a resume.
Think back to when you were a child. What did you dream of becoming as an adult? A pilot? A teacher? A nurse? Maybe a mathematician, a mechanic, or a scientist. Now imagine a place where everyone is focused on your success. Imagine an education that is personal, engaging, fun, and professional. With an education from UVU, all of this becomes true. Utah Valley University. It's your dream. It's your university.
Back at the UCCU Center. Wow, it was a heck of a first half between Portland State and Utah Valley. The game was tied 13 times and the lead changed hands 11 times, all in the first half. That is pretty doggone amazing. Wolverines 39, Vikings 39 at halftime. Hey, we're joined courtside by another head coach, this one being Utah Valley women's head coach, Kathy Nixon. Coach, thanks for stopping by, taking some time out to be here. You guys had a game a little earlier today. Tell me how that one went.
We did. Well, it was back and forth, kind of like the men's game has been tonight. Late in the second half, we pulled away a little bit, but didn't take care of the ball and hit free throws like we needed to, so we ended up losing a close one.
By one. By one? Oh, that hurts. I'm surprised you're here at all instead of in the office, watching film or something.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, well, we're glad you stopped by. All right, so tell us about the season so far. So you lost to Southern Utah a little bit earlier today. How's the season going, though?
It's going pretty well. We're 4-4 right now. This is our first loss at home, and we're a team. I think like most teams in the country, they're still trying to find ourselves a little bit, but our girls work really hard, and we have the pieces to be a pretty good team in the long run, I think.
Somebody told me, and I've only had a chance to see you guys play a couple of times. We're taking a look at some of the highlights so far from this season. Tell us who we're looking at, who the stars are for the team this year.
Well, that's Jenna Johnson you saw earlier. That's Kim Bell there. She comes off the bench, plays 4 in the 5 for us. That's our starting point guard, Abby Butler. That's our leading scorer, Sammy Jensen, leading rebounder. She broke the all-time single-game women's rebounding record the other night. Had 21 boards and 19 points on Thursday. Erica Newbold there starts at the 5, coming off of a redshirt year with some injuries. But Casey Mansfield starts at the 3. And, you know, like I said, Jim, I think we have a team that has all the pieces to be a really good team come February, March.
You guys look really fast on highlights. Are you that fast, really?
I think that might have been double speed, but...
Is today's game?
That's today's game right there, yeah. That's Sydney Mason. She came off the bench and played some good minutes at the point for us. She's an American Fort kid. Allie Finch there, number 4, from Snow College and Riverton High School. So we have some local kids, and it's just, they're a pleasure to coach. I'm very fortunate to have great girls who work hard and work together, and we have a lot of fun.
4-4 on the season, and then obviously a very disappointing 1-point loss. We're seeing you in the huddle. You didn't look real happy there, young lady.
That might have been it when I was happy.
Oh, no.
It got worse after that.
Wow, nice long 3. So, did you expect a tough game with Southern Utah?
We did. You know, we played them last week down at SUU, and it was a tough game. We ended up fouling a little bit at the end, lost by 15, so we really hope to get them tonight. And we did some really good things. We had a good lead in the second half, 7-8 points, but we didn't capitalize on opportunities with free throws to really seal the game, and then it got a little crazy. They hit some threes. We fouled on some three-point shots, and they hit some free throws at the end to pull ahead.
All right, so tell me what's coming up from this point forward. I mean, you guys 2 years ago didn't have the greatest regular season. All of a sudden, you get into the Great West Championship game, you win the thing in the tournament. That was pretty amazing. What do you got from here on out this season?
Well, you know, we've kind of made a living at peaking at the right time in March, and that's been a tradition we've had here for a long time, and I anticipate that same thing with this team. Next week is finals. We'll take that week off until Saturday. We have a game. We play Northern Arizona. Play 2 more games before Christmas, and then we have a little bit of a break. Go to University of Utah and up to Boise State, and then shortly thereafter we start our conference play with our Great West opponents.
Great. So you're playing some pretty big name programs as well.
We really try to bring people here and go places that, you know, we like to play the best, and so I want my girls to be measured up against teams that are recognized and accomplished, and that's been, I think, a good factor for us in developing our program at the Division I level.
Tell me about recruiting. How hard is it to recruit at Utah Valley University? A lot of folks around the country are saying, Utah Valley who?
Well, it's getting a lot better. You know, I think the longer we go and the more well-known our school gets and university gets academically, it's a little bit easier. We've had very good recruiting years the last 2 years. We just signed another player in November, and it definitely was a transition from junior college, try to find our own little niche of where we fit in at the junior college level, but we've got some really good kids in our program, and I'm excited about the future.
Well, they look pretty good from what I've seen. Coach, thanks for stopping by. They're telling us we're out of time.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jim.
You bet.
Appreciate you.
Good luck to you. Coach
Thank
Kathy
you.
Nixon, head coach of the women's team here at Utah Valley University. We'll take a break. Back with more of your halftime show. We're tied at 39, Utah Valley and Portland State. Back in a couple of minutes here on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Come join the student section and cheer for the Mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
If you're serious about going to college and getting a head start on the process, come get a feel for what university life is like. UVU Days are designed with you in mind. UVU Days are department-specific events held on Saturdays that will allow you to become a student for a day. These events are free and breakfast and lunch are served. For more information, dates, and times, please visit our website at www.uvu.edu/future students. Come experience what UVU has to offer in your field of study.
I guess I really got green fever when, like, I found out how Utah Valley University can get me a great education because...
Are you here for zombies? This is green fever. Zombies meets down the hall, room 1023.
Costa Vida was born on the beach, so the coast inspires how we prepare everything, from our crisp salads to our irresistible burritos. And with more fresh sauces and salsas to choose from, meals at Costa Vida are truly a custom experience. Costa Vida, the coast is calling.
Very entertaining first half here at the UCCU Center. And we're tied up between Portland State and Utah Valley, 39 each. I'm Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. Matt, analysis of the first half from the ex-player, please.
Yeah, from my point of view, it's been a great game to watch. I think we've seen some good play offensively from both teams. I look at, when we're talking about this, points in the paint. I mean, I've mentioned this a couple times, but I find it incredible that Portland State has 28 points in the paint of their 39. That's very unusual. A lot of times you're going to see more perimeter-oriented offense. Wolverines have 22 points in the paint as well. So I think what this game, what it's shown in the first half, is that both teams are looking to get out in transition. Both teams are looking to get the ball inside first and foremost, and then after that, they're trying to work the ball outside to their perimeter players. But to me, this game has been so far about also the perimeter players driving the basket and getting to the rim. It's been very impressive for both teams and the ability that they've had to do that.
All right, take a look at a few of the stats that we've got for you. Anything jump out at you there? Turnovers dead even?
Yeah, I think that both teams have taken care of the basketball. Obviously, Portland State hasn't made a three-point shot. So
0 for 5.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the second half, I mean, that's something that I think the Wolverines may try to focus on is say, look, they haven't shot the ball well from the three-point line. They're killing us inside. Let's shore up our inside defense a little bit more in the second half. I think the Wolverines are getting good shots. 2 of 8 from the three-point line. I don't think they've really forced anything. It just hasn't fallen for them so far.
Nate Lozo, the leading scorer in the game with 12 points. He's the only player for either team in double figures. Charles Odom had 9. Shahalis Tapscott was 6 off the, and then Ronaldo Parker coming off the bench was 6. Meanwhile, for UVU, Geddes Robinson 9, Holton Hunsaker 9, Isiah Williams just 7. First half highlights, Matt, walk us through this.
Yeah, Keith Thompson got out early with a couple quick baskets. Nice pass there from Isiah Williams into Ben Aird. We see Alfonso Hubbard being very aggressive here, and Ben Aird with the tap-in follow-up. This is that patented spin move from Geddes Robinson. We're seeing a lot of players getting action. Keavi Enos gets a shot to fall here. Of the 9 players who played for the Wolverines, 8 of them scored. So everybody who's playing for the Wolverines is having some impact offensively on the game. We see Geddes Robinson once again inside. These shots are gonna fall for the Wolverines. We know, Jim, doing these games and watching that they've got ability on the offensive end. They have players who can come in and who can do certain things offensively, and they've shown that here in the first half. When we go back to one of the keys to the game, we had mentioned that the Wolverines need to have defensive stops. That was going to be one of their keys. As you mentioned, when we have those lead changes, score tied 13 times, lead changes 11 times. And there's going to be a point in the game in the second half here where one of the teams, either Portland State or the Wolverines, is going to have a defensive stop. So, which team can do that in the second half, I think is going to have a good advantage.
Might just turn out to be who's got the ball last.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's how the game's gone.
Neither team able to lead by more than 4 at any time in that first half. Pretty impressive first half. It was entertaining, as you said. Fun to watch. I don't think anything will be different in the second half. Second half coming up after this break. We're tied at 39, Portland State and Utah Valley.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
Come join the student section and cheer for the Mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. The Wolverines are trying to snap a Portland State 3-game winning streak. We're tied at 39 as we get ready to start our second half. Things to watch for in the second half, Matt, probably Keith Thompson, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, he got those quick fouls, those 2 fouls with not even 3 minutes gone by. You know, he's probably missed out on close to 50 minutes of actual time because he came out so early. So let's see how he responds here. I always look forward to, when I played, it was very hard. A lot of times I found it very difficult to come out of the locker room after playing a tough first half with a ton of energy. Let's see how both of these teams respond to that break at half.
Portland State opens with possession. Ben Aird blocks the shot from Lozo. Isiah gives off to Hunsaker. Keith Thompson is in the game to start the second half. He started the first half, hit his first 2 shots, got 2 fouls, went to the bench. We never saw him again. Again, if you joined us late, back and forth they went in that first half. Ben Aird draws the foul from Lozo. For Lozo, that's going to be foul number 2. So Tapscott, Lozo, McMullen, all with 2 fouls each.
Yeah, you look at how much room Ben had to create there. He caught the ball in the middle of the paint, took his time, made a move, and drew the foul on Lozo. That's a definite physical matchup between these 2 players. And Portland State on their first possession went inside. Wolverines, their first possession, they try to go inside. So these 2 players are going to be heavily involved, you know, the rest of the game and the rest of the way. It's always fun watching those post matchups. They were both in our key players. And they were both key players to this game.
Wolverines lead by 2 after the 2 free throws from Ben Aird. Jumper for 3, no. Lozo rebound. Wide open 3, missed, tipped up, missed again. Isiah Williams pulls it down. Wolverines just want to push it every time. Isiah thought he was going to have a lane to go through, but McMullen cut him off and fouled him.
Yeah, this was an interesting play there. I think Isiah may have gotten away with a little bit of, you see that left arm that was extended there. I don't think that Latif McMullen was trying to draw a foul there, but definitely get called for one.
Isiah jumper. McMullen, 3 fouls, by the way. He stays out there running the offense for Portland State. McMullen, one of 2 players for Portland State who averaged 30 minutes a game. 30 out of 40 minutes, they're out there. Lozo against Ben, gets it to go, and the foul. For Ben Aird, his second foul. All right, Aird's got 2, Keith Thompson with 2, and Keavi Enos with 2 for Utah Valley. Nobody else with more than 1. Lozo, McMullen, and Tapscott with 2 each. Lozo free throw good.
Great job there from Nate Lozo of sealing off. I mean, he came across and was able to just get great position. Ben was stuck behind him on that defensive play. Didn't have a chance to get around the big body of Nate Lozo. Great job of a post-up and a great finish.
43-42. Wolverines lead by 1. Shot from outside, no. Shot blocked by KT. Keith Thompson dishes off. Geddes misses. I'm not sure you get a better look than Geddes Robinson got right there.
Not going to get a better look, and a great opportunity for the Wolverines because Keith Thompson got that rebound, got the block, got the rebound, drove it all the way down, went as far as the defense was going to allow him, and did a great dish off. Just an unfortunate break there for Geddes Robinson. You know, he's not going to get a better look than that. Just didn't get it to fall.
Tapscott gives over to Odom. Around Hunsaker, dishes off, kicks it back outside. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Hartoon. Shot blocked by KT from behind, but a blocking foul going to be called inside against Geddes Robinson.
You know, nice job of recovery here from Keith Thompson. Geddes just come over there. It looks like he was there a little bit too late and maybe was falling back just a little bit, and referee called him for the block. You know, Keith, as I said, did a nice job of recovery to block the shot. And Geddes, once again, you know, he's got great awareness on the defensive end. You know, he's able to see when he needs to rotate over defensively, and he does a great job of always being in position to take a charge. Just didn't get called his way that time.
Well, the pattern continues. UVU scored the first 4 to come out of the second half. Now Portland State has scored 4 straight to tie us up again. Keith Thompson with the rebound on the missed free throw. Tied at 43, 2.5 minutes gone here in the second half.
I think we're getting a zone here, trying to determine what type of zone it is from Portland State. Looks maybe like a 2-3 zone. Changing it up on the Wolverines, much like Utah State did at certain points in the second half of the last game.
Aired inside, sort of threw it up when he realized he was going to get fouled. That foul will go against Winston. His second, team's third.
Yeah, we'll see Ben get right in the middle. Nice job of, you see that preparation there. He didn't catch the ball with his back to the basket. He did a nice job of catching it looking at the basket, making it that much easier to go to the rim. But that's what you got to have when you're playing against the zone. You got to get your big guys flashing. You got to keep them active in the paint, not just letting them stand around and be taken out of the offensive possession by the zone.
7 points and just 3 rebounds for Big Ben. Sure seems like he has more than that, doesn't it?
Seems like he does have more than that, but stats don't lie, I guess, right?
The official stat.
The official stat.
Yeah. Wolverines by 2. 45-43. Portland State recovers. Hunsaker holding his right knee in obvious pain, but a foul as Portland State goes in. That's going to go against Ben Aird. Tapscott at the line.
Yeah, that was one of those wild scramble plays. That ball's on the floor. Anybody has the opportunity to go out and get it. Portland State comes up with it, gets the ball to Tapscott. Nice job of trying to get to the basket.
45-44. Wolverines by just 1. Just under 17 minutes to play here. Hunsaker will stay out there. He was really holding his right knee. We're tied at 45.
Yeah, I thought we might see this some type of 2-2-1 press when they put the guards in on rebounding off of a free throw. Wolverines have to attack here.
Keith Thompson. We didn't get to see much of him in that first half because of those 2 fouls. He's got 9 points.
Yeah, and there's nothing that'll get him out of that 2-2-1 trap faster than an easy basket like that. That was a great way to run the transition offense against the press.
Correction on Keith Thompson now from the official score. He has 6 points. Thank you. Odom, the old high school teammate from Keith Thompson. The teammates back-to-back baskets. That Mayfair High School in California must have been a heck of a team.
Yeah, definitely produced some good players that we're seeing here in this game.
Keith Thompson and Charles Odom. They're both seniors in college now. We're tied at 47. Hunsaker nails the three.
Yeah, great job there. They tried to post up Isiah Williams. He was double teamed. All it takes to get the defense out of position is a good pass out of that double team. Ben received that pass, one more pass over to Holton for the wide open jump shot. That's just good offense and realizing that it just takes one more pass to get a good shot.
Holton Hunsaker's best game since we were up in Detroit against Oakland University. Tapscott tried to force it in, dish off, and a whistle. Going to go against Utah Valley. That one's going to go against Geddes Robinson. For Geddes, that's going to be foul number 3. Not good news for Utah Valley. Timeout on the floor. 15.5 to play. Wolverines by 3.
I'm Joe Luce, an anthropology student at UVU, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm sharpening my mind and my skills.
I'm Patty Garcia, a geology student at UVU, and this is Engaged Learning. At UVU, I'm learning by doing.
Well, after a very entertaining first half, the second half looks like it might turn into a lot of foul trouble for both these teams. Although Holton Hunsaker hits the three, and boy, he's got the hot hand. That will help the Wolverines.
Yeah,
3 fouls against Geddes Robinson, 3 on Ben Ayers.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right there. I mean, those foul trouble could plague both of these teams here coming down the stretch. You know, it's hard to quantify the effect that fouling has on a game. Obviously, if your key players get fouls, it's gonna hurt you. Also, it'll put teams at the free throw line if you get into the bonus. So, both teams have to be aware that they can't give away those easy points by fouling later on in the game when teams will have the ability to go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
Lozo with 15, Odom with 11 for Portland State. They trail Utah Valley by 3. 15.5 to play. That's Odom with it. Goes over to Parker. Inside, forced it through 2 Wolverines. And it's a 1-point game.
Now that's a play we're going to see a lot of. We're going to see Charles Odom with the ball on one of the wings. We're going to see a big coming up to set a screen for him. And Charles Odom's going to have the ability to penetrate, try and create his own shot, or he's going to dish off like he did in that situation.
Keith Thompson backs in. Dishes off. Big Ben. Slams it home. Ayers got 10 points.
We haven't seen that much from Big Ben. Great job of getting the ball on the baseline and going up emphatically and throwing it down. No chance for a block there.
Tapscott. Hubbard blocked him from behind. Wolverines on the run. 3-on-2. Slapped away. Hubbard down low. No shot. It's a 3-point lead for Utah Valley right now. Portland State basketball. And a whistle again, stopping play. That one is going to go against Hubbard of Utah Valley. His second. Geddes Robinson 3. Ben Ayers with 3 fouls. Hubbard with 2. Calvianis with 2. Keith Thompson with 2. That's just Utah Valley side. Portland State. McMullen's got 3. Winston 2. Lozo 2. Tapscott 2. Winston working against Hunsaker. Over to Odom. in the lane. Nice move, missed the shot. Tapscott rebound, back up, and one. Chehalis Tapscott, 6'5" senior from Hillsboro, Oregon, averaging 13 points a game. He's got 8 unofficially and 9 rebounds. Now they do update it, 10 points, 9 rebounds.
No surprise he came down with the offensive rebound there. He's the tallest player on the court. He's only 6'5". Typically you see, centers or forwards on the court. But look at the size of the lineups that both of these teams have gone with. Wolverines have definitely gone small. Portland State has gone small as well, and you get Chehalis Tapscott being the biggest player, gets the rebound.
Timeout on the floor. 14 minutes to play, and guess what? We're tied at 52. This game has been tied 17 times. Hunsaker 12 points tonight. As I mentioned earlier, he's just struggled the last few games. Good to see him have a breakout. In his last few games, Holton, 3 points, 2 points, 0, and 2 points. 7 points in his last 4 games combined. Tonight he's already got 12.
Yeah, he's definitely, I think what we've seen so far, broken that streak of not his best games that he has played. And it was only going to be a matter of time, from our dealings with Holton and with many of the Wolverine team players, we realize the mental toughness that they have. There's obviously a physical element to basketball, but there's also a mental toughness, and I think that coming out of those games where he hadn't played his best probably is more mental than anything, and he's definitely overcome that.
Geddes Robinson stays out there with those 3 fouls for Utah Valley. 52-52. We're under 14 minutes to play. Isiah Williams to the hole and one. Isiah 11 points on 5 of 10 shooting.
Isiah coming a long way from the wing, getting to the basket there as Geddes Robinson came up and set that initial pick. But Isiah did a very nice job dribbling left the entire time, finishing with the left at the basket.
Isiah gives the Wolverines a 55-52 lead.
And I think we'll see that same type of offense here from Portland State. Going to get it into Charles Odom's hand with screens coming up, letting him create, trying to get post opportunities off of the screens.
Winston gives over to Odom. "12 seconds to shoot. Odom will take it in. Missed it. UVU with the rebound. Three-point lead. Both guards out there for Utah Valley with 12 points right now, in the form of Holton Hunsaker with 12 and Isiah Williams with 12. Isiah. Stolen away. Odom. 1-on-2, takes it in against his former high school teammate, lays it up and in. You know he's probably thinking that was sweet.
Great finish there. And you know Keith Thompson was probably thinking that he was going to get some sort of a block there, but a great finish there from Charles Odom. Driving nearly the length of the court with the finish in between 2 Wolverine defenders.
Coach Dick Hunsaker saw something he didn't like, so he wanted to take a quick timeout. 12.5 minutes to play. We'll stay here. 55-54, Utah Valley with a 1-point lead. You know, talking about a mental thing, Utah Valley, we've talked about it just ad nauseum that they're undefeated here at home. They can't win on the road. They're at home again a week from tonight. That's their next game. But Portland State, just 2 nights from now, on Monday night, they'll be in Eugene, Oregon, playing the Oregon Ducks. That's got to be weighing on their minds a little bit. 12 points for Isiah despite just being 1 of 5 from three-point land. Free throws actually are wrong there. He's 1 of 1 from free throw land, 5 of 10 overall from the floor. Geddes Robinson working against Tapscott, up and in.
Yeah, Coach Tyler Gebbing right in front of us yelled out the play. He knew what was coming there, but a great entry pass from Ben into Geddes and a great finish from Geddes.
Parker blocked, and that's going to be foul number 4 on Geddes Robinson. Yeah, he got him on the arm.
Yeah, that was a good call there. Geddes, nice job of trying to challenge the shot, but swiping away and getting the arm there. And as you said, 4 personal fouls. Let's see how Coach Hunsaker is going to handle this situation, because they're definitely going to need Geddes in there at the end of the game and can't afford for him to foul out. You know, and what that's going to do as well is it's going to affect the lineup. We've got Taylor Brown checking into the game, his first action here tonight. But it's going to affect the game as far as matchup-wise, you know, who's going to guard certain players defensively. You know, in game planning, they're obviously thinking that Geddes is going to guard certain players in certain circumstances, and now that he's out with foul trouble, it's going to throw a little bit of a fork into that. 12 minutes left in the game, too, so let's see how long he stays on the bench for.
57-55. Keith Thompson looks for help, whistle away from the ball, going to go against Portland State inside. That one's going to go against Gary Winston. His third. Timeout on the floor. We'll take this one with him. 11:52 to play. Wolverines by 2 over Portland State here at the UCCU Center.
Utah Valley University. Your life, your beat, your university.
Utah Valley has 4 players in double figures. Portland State has 3 players in double figures. But it's foul trouble now starting to rear its ugly head. Geddes Robinson on the bench with 4. Ben Aird's out there with 3. 4 other Wolverines with 2 each. For Portland State, 3 fouls on McMullen, 3 fouls on Gary Winston, 2 each on Tapscott, Lozo, and Harthune. UVU leading by 2. Ben Aird forces it over the top of Lozo. That's going to be a foul on Lozo. His third. Team 6, so about to the point we're going to be shooting free throws for the next 11 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, and there's that matchup that we've been talking about. Nate Lozo against Ben Aird. I mean, that's been a key matchup so far. Both players have played great. They've been able to put a lot of pressure on each other in the post. Ben with a nice job there getting the ball, backing the defender down, and catching him a little bit off guard when going up for the shot.
Ben Aird, Isiah Williams, and Holton Hunsaker, 12 points each. Wolverines lead at 59-55. Winston will kick it outside to McMullen. Driving in, McMullen misses. Bodies crashing all over the place. Lozo misses the jump hook. Isiah Williams comes out of the fray with it. He forces it over to KT, who slams it home.
That was all caused because of the defensive rebounding effort from the Wolverines. They did a great job of coming up with that. Isiah ran a perfect fast break. Well, as soon as the defender stopped him, he dished off to Keith for the finish. Great play there.
61-55. Keith Thompson hasn't missed a shot yet. Floater off the glass, good by McMullen.
Would you expect anything other than Portland State to come back with a basket after the Wolverines get a basket? Just how the game has been, just back and forth. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
Prior to that basket, the 6-point lead by Utah Valley was the biggest of the game for either team. 10.5 minutes to play. Wolverines by 4. It's been back and forth. 12 lead changes, 17 ties. Isiah hits the shooter's bounce for 2.
Yeah, once again, I love watching Isiah when he goes to his left. I think he's got such ability when he goes to his left. It almost looks like it's easier for him to get a shot off when he's going to his left versus going to his right.
Jumper will not go. Taylor Brown, loose ball rebound for UVU. And a whistle as Isiah was bringing it up court.
Yeah, carry. He called a carry there on Isiah. I think pretty accurate there.
You are agreeing with an official?
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but I think that was a pretty good call there.
Now, really, when you were a player, did you ever agree with an officiating
Never did.
call?
You know, and the thing that's tough about those types of calls, the palming calls, is there's so many other opportunities in the game where you can call that.
Yeah.
It's just the very, very obvious ones that they do call.
Odom slapped away. Hunsaker dives for it and calls the timeout and gets it. Holton Hunsaker playing a heads-up game. Sophomore. He's the only married player on the team. Holton Hunsaker got married over the summer. 30-second timeout. We'll stay here. 63-57. UVU out in front with 9:41 to play.
We're going to see a whole lot of that offense from Portland State. We're going to see the ball in Charles Odom's hand, and we're going to see him coming off of screens. And I think a very big key for the Wolverines defensively is how are they going to handle those screens? How are the perimeter players who are defending Charles Odom, how are they going to handle that? You know, I made a note earlier that Charles Odom loves that spin move when he gets into the paint. He's done that 4 or 5 times when he gets into the paint. So it's going to be vital for them to not allow him to get in the paint, because when he does, he has that spin move that he takes advantage of. So I would look at Holton. I would look at possibly Isiah, who's going to be guarding him. We may see even Keith Thompson guarding him. How are they going to defend him coming off of those screens?
Odom, 13 points tonight.
Yeah, Portland State switched back again here to his own.
Isiah will jump at 3. Missed it. Taylor Brown saves it from going out of bounds, but could not get it to a teammate. Portland State basketball.
You know, we saw in that Utah State game on Tuesday, about this time in the second half, that Utah State made the switch and went to his own, and I think it put the Wolverines into a stagnant offense. And so let's see what improvements they can make in tonight's game so that they don't get into that same situation.
Tapscott forces it up in traffic and draws the foul. Is that Ben Aird?
I think they called that on Taylor Brown.
No. Ben Aird picks up foul number 4. That is really not good news for Utah Valley.
Yeah, that was a missed call there, because that was not a foul on Ben Aird. That had to be a foul on Taylor Brown, did it not? We'll have to see if we can get a replay of that, because I think that Taylor Brown was clearly the one who was guarding him. Now we see the referee, Casey McClellan, in front of us here telling us that he came from behind there and called the foul. You know, it looked like it was good defense there from Taylor Brown, but they get Ben Aird with the foul.
63-58. Coming up on 9 minutes left.
You know, this is key for Ben. He's got to know that he's got 4 fouls, and he cannot foul. He cannot get some type of cheap offensive foul, or else he'll be out of the game.
Well, they feed him the ball. He dishes off to Taylor Brown immediately. Gets it again on the high post. Out to Taylor for a 3. Bottom. The 8-point lead is the biggest for UVU. Holton Hunsaker takes a ride on the Lateef McMullen Railroad. His 4th foul.
Let's just go back right to what I was talking about there, Jim. How are they going to handle for the guards of Portland State coming off of those screens? Holton in that instance, I believe he got underneath the screen and took that one right in the chest. He did a great job there realizing what was going to come offensively.
Wow. They're going to need some ice bags. And at midcourt, Ben Aird gets tangled up with Charles Odom. And Odom gets called with a foul. Everybody here held their breath that it was going to go against Big Ben. Odom comes up limping. Goodness gracious. 8.5 minutes to go. I'm not sure there'll be anybody left at the end of this game. Big Ben will be at the free throw line. Both teams in the bonus situation now.
Yeah, we've got Coach Tyler Geving here in front of us yelling, saying that was unbelievable. I mean, Ben Aird was there in position for looked like 5 seconds, close to 5 seconds. I think in that instance it may be better not to call a foul because, obviously the defender doesn't know that the screen is going to be set, and you can blame, if anybody, your own team on that because you're not screaming to your teammate that there is a screen that is going to be set. Ben didn't move the entire time, and there was no way that was going to be a foul on him.
Big Ben's got 14 points, tying Isiah Williams for game high for the Wolverines. Lozo's got 15. Lozo's got the ball. He's fouled by Taylor. Well, it looked like Taylor Brown to me. We better wait for the call.
Yeah, we better wait for the call. 32, number 34. Who knows who they're going to call it on?
It is going to go against Taylor Brown.
See, this is a tough spot for Ben because he can't foul. So what he's doing there on Nate Lozo is he is fronting him, making them pass over the top. And what you have to have when you have a big man who is fronting is you've got to have help defenders coming in. Taylor Brown did that. He came in to help, but he just rotated too late because the Wolverines are probably not going to risk having Ben get stuck behind Nate Lozo in the post, so they're going to let him front, make him throw it over the top, and you've got to have perimeter help defense.
Those 2 free throws stopped an 11-3 run that Utah Valley was on. 68-60, 8:15 left. Hunsaker working against Odom. There's Big Ben over to Isiah. Gets separation and buries the jumper.
Yeah, tough shot there. Great defense, but just a better play there from Isiah. There's nothing you can do when he dribbles it in between his legs like that, takes a step back and is falling away. That's just an undefendable shot.
All-American has 16 points. And looking for more. He takes it all the way. He's got 18. Wolverines by 12. And Portland State forced to call a timeout. 72-60. Huge lead for the Wolverines in a game like this that was just been so close all the way.
Yeah, I think the Wolverines have definitely turned it with their defense. That was one of the keys to the game, is who's going to come up with the defensive stops. That's what the Wolverines have to have. And they've clearly stretched this game out because of their defense. And I think it's come because of the perimeter defense that they've had. They've been able to stop Portland State's guards, as we see the nice finish there from Isiah in transition. They've been able to stop Portland State's guards from getting into the paint and causing the trouble that they were causing a little bit earlier. But, 7 minutes left, 12-point lead. We're not going to expect that Portland State's going to go away here at all.
A lot of folks look at Utah Valley's record and say, look, they're just average. They're 5-5. Yeah, they're 5 losses all on the road to Arkansas, Oakland, Wyoming, and Utah State, and Houston. 5 pretty decent teams.
Yeah, very good teams. And this Portland State team, you and I were talking, and you mentioned several times that on paper they look like very similar teams, and they definitely have tonight. Portland State has a great basketball team.
Winston stolen away. Taylor Brown just picked his pocket. Turnover number 10 for Portland State. We're under 7.5 to play here in Orem, Utah. Utah Valley. Taylor Brown can't get the finger roll to go. Portland State on the run, coming back the other way. Odom, he carried it.
2-in-1 game. I don't know if we've ever seen that.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. 7:10 to play. Wolverines leading by 12.
Dawn is breaking at Utah Valley University. 33,000 students are descending on campus. What are they after? Knowledge? Opportunity? They might be pursuing an MBA, an automotive certificate, or a bachelor's degree in philosophy. But despite their different paths, they share a common understanding.
Think back to when you were a child. What did you dream of becoming as an adult? A pilot? A teacher? A nurse? Maybe a mathematician, a mechanic, or a scientist. Now imagine a place where everyone is focused on your success. Imagine an education that is personal, engaging, fun, and professional. With an education from UVU, all of this becomes true. Utah Valley University. It's your dream. It's your university.
Utah Valley University has not won a game this season if their opponent has scored 60 or more points. Right now, Portland State has 60, but Utah Valley has 72. So UVU looking to change that stat. 4 fouls on Geddes Robinson, 4 on Ben Aird. Ben is out there. Geddes is not. 4 fouls on Lateef McMullen. For Portland State, he is not out there. Utah Valley basketball, 7 minutes to go in this one. It's been a good one. Glad you're with us. Isiah Williams forcing it in. Portland State comes away with it on the miss. Winston, pull-up jumper. Keith Thompson forced him into a, I don't know if they're going to give Keith a block on that, but it was close.
Yeah, either way, if he got the block, great. If not, he did an unbelievable job of getting that vertical shot pressure that I know Coach Hunsaker always teaches. Did a nice job of getting his hand vertically in the air.
Tried to work it into Big Ben, did not. Wolverines get the turnover coming back the other way as Portland State looking for Tapscott.
Yeah, a couple costly turnovers there back-to-back from Gary Winston. And when I see that shot that he took that we were just talking about that was defended by Keith Thompson, I think that can be considered a turnover. And that pass up ahead, that had no chance of getting through.
Isiah whip pass intended for Holton Hunsaker. And I'm sorry to laugh at the poor official, but you know, you just got to be aware that the ball's headed toward your nether regions.
Yeah, he did a great job of getting out of the way there. Just as we were talking about key turnovers for Portland State, Wolverines with a couple key turnovers here. That's the last thing that you want. The clock is your best friend, and so is ball possession.
You know, there are turnovers, and then there are just, that's a turnover, but
yeah,
it won't make the highlight reel, at least the one they show publicly. Tapscott scores inside. 10-point Wolverine lead with 5:45 to play. Hunsaker pushing it against Parker. Parker fouled him. Hunsaker trying to go around the much bigger Renato Parker. Parker 6'5", 245 pounds. Holton just 6 foot.
And remember what Coach Hunsaker would always teach us in these situations is that you have 6 minutes left and it's a 10-point game, but what you have to be aware of is that the defense is always going to be swiping at the ball. They're always going to be trying to come from behind and hit the ball out and take riskier plays as you get closer to the end of the game. So Wolverines players have to be aware of that. They've got to heighten their awareness as far as taking care of the basketball and realizing what the defenders are going to be trying to do.
Hunsaker 13 points, 5 of 5 from the stripe. 6 of 6, and Wolverines lead is again 12. Matches their biggest of the game. 74-62, stolen away. Hunsaker takes it in. Holton Hunsaker with a breakout game. 16 points. Came in here averaging just 4.8 a game.
Here's that matchup that we're talking about with Keith Thompson and Charles Odom on the perimeter.
Former high school teammates. If you joined us late, we've only mentioned it about 38 times.
I think it's a good matchup because I think that we'll see the replay here. Taylor Brown swiping down on the ball because I think Keith has the ability to be a great perimeter defender. He's got quickness, he's got length, he's got extreme athletic ability. I think he can be a great perimeter defender, and he's shown that tonight on a couple of opportunities that he's had.
Hartoon trying to feed Tapscott, overthrew him. Turnover, Portland State.
And another thing here too, Jim, is when teams get into this situation, they're going to start putting this full court press on. The last couple of plays, Portland State's started to extend their pressure up court a little bit. So what you need is obviously someone who can take care of the ball in the inbound and someone who can bring it up without turning it over.
If you're a Wolverine fan joining us a little bit late, you're like, where's Geddes Robinson? Well, he picked up his 4th foul with 12 minutes and 10 seconds to play. Wolverines were up by only 2 at the time. Now they're up by 14. With him on the bench, which is amazing.
Yeah. Even Ben's in the game still with 4 personal fouls.
Wolverines burn a little clock. 4.5, 2 seconds. Hunsaker forced to take a prayer of a 3 as the shot clock was down to 1. Portland State coming back the other way, and McMullen makes them pay for playing with the shot clock. 76-64.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they did, playing with that shot clock.
Parker reaches in, picks up the foul for Portland State. Parker picks up his 3rd foul. 4:14 to play.
If we can, Jim, can we take a trip back for me on memory lane?
Please. I love it when you do this.
I remember we were playing at the University of Montana.
We need music or something?
No, we don't.
Okay.
But the University of Montana, I'm not trying to take away from the game here, but playing at the University of Montana, I had 4 fouls in the first half with 8 minutes left. I don't know what got into me, but I had 4 fouls, 8 minutes left in the first half, and I didn't foul out. And I played the remainder of the first half. Well, maybe not the remainder, but I played for most of the remainder of the first half and the second half. So playing with 4 fouls can be done, and I didn't even come close to anybody offensively because I didn't want to foul out in the first half. That'd be embarrassing. But
did you win the game, man?
No, we did not.
Oh my gosh. So, well, just pop the bubble right there, pal.
Yeah, right.
78-64 foul against Utah Valley as Odom was trying to work inside. That one going to go against Keith Thompson, his 3rd.
Maybe we lost the game because I didn't foul out, but once again, there's that spin move from Odom.
Wow.
That's something that he loves to do, and he's very good at it. And it's so hard to defend when you can get a player who has a great spin move. You know, Keith Thompson was guarding him there, and Odom was able to get around him.
Odom makes them both. Got 15 points. Pulls Portland State to within 12.
Yeah, if I'm Portland State, I don't foul here. I'm trying my best not to foul, not to get any type of offensive foul.
Hunsaker threw that one away, looking for somebody, and Odom makes him pay at the other end. It's a 10-point Wolverine lead. 3:45 to play.
Yeah, great press there from Portland State, forcing the turnover. They got what they wanted. Holton backtracking in the backcourt against 2 defenders.
Hunsaker slapped away, gathers it back into the lane. Reach in foul going to get called against Portland State's Tapscott. Chehalis Tapscott picks up the foul. Clock stop, 3:29 to play. Brings us to another media timeout. Tapscott's 3rd foul. Wolverines by 10.
I'm Joe Luce, an anthropology student at UVU, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm sharpening my mind and my skills.
I'm Patty Garcia, a geology student at UVU, and this is Engaged Learning. At UVU, I'm learning by doing.
Utah Valley leading Portland State by 10. 3:29 to play here at the UCCU Center. I'm Jim McCullough along with Matt Peterson. It's been a very entertaining game. Holton Hunsaker, season high 18 points. Ben Aird, season high 14 points for the Wolverines, who play oh so well here at home. Portland State has never lost to Utah Valley. This is the fourth time these two teams have played one another. Hunsaker at the free throw line, where he is 8 of 8 tonight. Make it 9 of 9. 79-68. Second one also good. Back to a 12-point lead. Wolverines have led by as many as 14. That was just 2 minutes ago. Portland State now trying to hurry just a little bit. Outside jumper, no good from McMullen. Ball tipped away and out of bounds off Utah Valley.
You know, I just took a couple notes here. You know, these close games from my playing experience and just seeing these, you know, a couple keys for Portland State. They've got to get some quick scores. They've got to get some quick scores and force a couple quick turnovers.
Jumper outside for 3, no good from Hartoon. Vikings ball though. Three-pointer coming the other direction from Odom is good. 80-71.
That's exactly what you want. There's that quick score, and they're going to get this pressure on here. We got a triple team.
Held ball called as Isiah was triple teamed, as you say, in the backcourt. Possession arrow goes Utah Valley direction.
You know, in tough place, I know that Isiah got the ball in bounds. This was his number one important thing, but he got it in about the worst possible spot in the corner. But a good job of not turning it over and keeping good, secure control of the ball.
There's some pressure. Forces Taylor Brown into travel. He's trying to say, no, I was pushed. Goes in the books as a UVU turnover. They're 12th. Portland State has turned it over 14 times, by the way. Portland State will have the ball underneath their glass. 80-71. Just a 9-point lead now for UVU. We're under 3 to play. Hanging jumper. Good. That's Hartoon. It's a 7-point lead. Wolverines having some trouble with the pressure. Isiah Williams brings it across. They're saying don't foul him. Oh, it went off Portland State. They're saying Odom. It went off Odom's foot. Hunsaker and Odom were going at it. Looked like Holton lost the ball, but it did go off Odom's foot right in front of us.
Here's the amazing thing about these types of situations is the momentum can change so quickly. I mean, it's fair to say Portland State has the momentum now. You know, they've got the Wolverines in a bind offensively. 10 seconds left here on the shot clock. Wolverines need a good shot.
Isiah, 5, 4, forces it up. Got it. Isiah Williams, 20 points tonight.
So just give it to Isiah and clear out and let him do the rest, because incredible shot there.
Keith Thompson blocks Odom's shot. Sweetness back the other way, but scoring inside anyway for Portland State. Parker, 82-75. A minute 45 left, and a whistle. Taken by Utah Valley. Timeout. Every time Holton Hunsaker touches the ball, Portland State head coach Tyler Geving jumps up and says, don't foul him. Yeah. Don't foul him. Don't foul him.
I think that what he's trying to do is obviously convey the message not to foul, but to say, look, they're going to try and run some clock.
Spoken like a true player, Matt.
They're going to try and run some clock, and they need to put pressure on, but they don't want to foul because that'll put them at the free throw line and get them 2 shots. They've gotten back in this game because they haven't given up easy shots and easy baskets. That last possession, I mean, you just nod your head at that shot that Isiah made. There's nothing that you can do to stop that. So I think he's saying, obviously don't foul. Let's make us beat us by running the clock down. As we see the replay here, once again, there's Isiah going to his left, just off of 1 foot. Incredible shot. One thing I will point out here is that Kevin Woods has come into the game, an extra ball handler for the Wolverines. Keith Thompson has come out. Obviously, Coach Hunsaker feels they need some better ball handlers in the game to bring the ball up.
Inbounds pass from Ben Aird, slapped out of bounds by Tapscott, so it'll still be UVU basketball. Minute 45 to play. 82-75 the score.
And another thing on the fouling, I think he's obviously trying to say just don't bail him out. Just don't bail him out at the last minute when you've worked so hard defensively.
Isiah in the backcourt across the stripe. Now to Woods. He has it slapped away. Turnover. Portland State on the run. Dish off. Parker. Didn't look like he had the handle on it, but the foul's going to get called on Holton Hunsaker. 1:34 left.
Yeah, Holton definitely trying one last ditch effort there to swipe the ball away. I think you're right there. Doesn't look like he had quite control of the basketball game, but I'll go back when the score was 70. I believe it was 72-60. 7 minutes and 45 seconds left. Wolverines looked like they were in control of the game. I made a comment saying we're not going to put Portland State out of it yet because they have fought their way back into this game.
Third foul against Holton Hunsaker. Parker makes the back end of 2, and it's a 6-point lead for the Wolverines with 1:34 left.
And the Wolverine ball handlers have gotten themselves into corners. On that last possession, Kevin kind of put himself in a tough spot along the sideline by picking up his dribble.
Kevin Woods in trouble again. Gives off to Hunsaker. Ball on the floor, picked up by the Wolverines, and a whistle. Timeout.
Yeah, I think we get a Coach Hunsaker calling a timeout. Now, I believe with this, Jim, there's 26 seconds left.
On the shot clock.
On the shot clock. Yeah. Don't they have 2 seconds to get the ball across when they call a timeout in the backcourt? I believe that they do. That could cause some problems for them. See Holton diving on the floor there.
Well, Utah Valley showing that they're just struggling against this pressure that Portland State is putting on.
Well, it's been great pressure. I mean, it's been incredible pressure. You can imagine if a team would be able to put this type of pressure on for an entire game, what type of defense they would play. They've definitely, I think the Wolverines have become a little bit too tentative, gotten themselves into the corners, as I was saying, picked up their dribble in spots where they shouldn't have. They just need to go out there and play, take care of the basketball, and be aggressive.
Isiah Williams, 20 points, one of 2 Wolverines with 20 tonight. He and Holton Hunsaker, 20 each. 9 of 16 shooting for Isiah. But unfortunately, just 1 out of 6 from three-point land. And Isiah, lately, when he's touched the ball, he hasn't tried to shoot the 3. He'll just drive it in, knowing that it's not falling from outside the arc, so I'll take it. Utah Valley 82, Portland State 76, 1:26 left.
Just clarifying there with one of the referees, they do have a new 10 in the backcourt, so they do not have to get it across in 2 seconds. They've got a full 10 now in the backcourt.
Taylor Brown will do the honors here in front of our broadcast position. Gets it into Hunsaker. He's finally able to get it over to Isiah across midcourt. Isiah burning some clock. 1:15 left. Keavi Enos with it. Over to Taylor Brown, and they foul him immediately. Michael Harvey reached in. As soon as Taylor Brown got it, he was going for the foul.
Yeah, that was the best possession that the Wolverines had against this pressure because they were able to work the clock. They didn't turn the ball over, and they ended up at the free throw line and ran some time off the clock.
Taylor Brown's only taken 1 free throw all season. He missed it. Made the second one, though. 83-76.
One point I want to make before the second free throw here, we're going to get a substitution, but with the lineup that the Wolverines have in, it's a very small lineup. So they're going to have, they're not going to have Geddes in there rebounding. They're not going to have Ben in there rebounding. They're not going to have their normal big rebounders in the game, so they have to have everybody crashing the defensive glass.
Portland State, McMullen. Kicks over to Odom. Tapscott now. Forces it in, and one. 1 minute left. It's a 6-point Wolverine lead, and Tapscott will be looking to cut it down. You saw the free throw percentages. Portland State is 21 of 27. Wolverines have only missed one. They're 24 of 25 from the stripe.
There's that matchup that we were talking about. Chehalis Tapscott is a very tough matchup for the size that the Wolverines had there in the game. Taylor Brown did his best as he could to not foul on the block, but that was a clear advantage for Tapscott on the post. And that's the trade-offs that you're weighing in these situations. Ball handlers, versus defenders in matchups.
Under a minute, Keavi trying to get it out of the corner, stepped on the line, turnover, Utah Valley. 55 seconds left. Wolverines' lead is just 5. They led by 14. Since that time, it's a 15-6 run by Portland State.
Once again, the Wolverines got the ball in the corner. That just puts you in such a difficult position and difficult situation. I realize it's the only option that you may have to get it in, but you got to stay out of that corner, get it in the middle of the floor.
Clock rolls. McMullen forces up the shot and gets the bank to go. It's a 3-point game, folks. Keith Thompson over to Big Ben. Lead pass. Oh, they're going to say Ben was fouled before he got the pass away. Tapscott reached in. 46.4 on the clock. Tapscott's 4th foul.
Best foul of the night if you're a Portland State fan, because Kevin Woods had a wide open layup there. Wolverines working the ball around into Ben Aird's hands, but a nice pass ahead, but before. Very, very good foul there from Tapscott.
Ben Aird is 8 of 9 from the stripe. 9 of 10. Wolverines again have only missed 1 free throw. Ben missed an early one. The rest of the game, nobody's missed a free throw for UVU. They're 25 of 26.
And whoever gets the ball offensively for Portland State off of the free throw, whether it's McMullen or whether it's Odom, is going hard to the basket, is going to try and create here.
4-point lead for Utah Valley. Odom and scores. It's a 2-point game. 85-83. They get it into Isiah. He's in traffic to Holton. Across the stripe. He's inadvertently run over by Charles Odom. Odom didn't mean to foul him, I don't think.
Yeah, I think he thought Holton was going to continue driving ahead. You see Holton just stop there and draw the foul from Charles Odom. Heads up play there from Holton. Gets him to the free throw line.
Odom's 3rd, by the way. Holton Hunsaker 10 of 10 from the stripe. Half his 20 points have come from the free throw line. Gets the first. Season high 21 points for Holton Hunsaker. His career high is 25. Second one also good. Clutch. 87-83. 29 seconds and rolling. Driving all the way in. Ben with a block. What's the call? Officials all haven't made the call yet. A foul on Portland State. Tapscott. 22.9 seconds. Tapscott has fouled out of this game. Chehalis Tapscott, 17 points, 12 rebounds. One of 4 Portland State players in double figures.
Now that was one of those possessions where, once again, you're scrambling. Lateef McMullen did a great job of getting a full head of steam well behind the half-court line, going to the rim. Ben Aird did a very nice job of rotating over. Couldn't tell if he got a piece of the shot, but he definitely contested it. Tapscott came down with the rebound, and I know that Coach Geving in front of us here, talking to the referee, D.G. Nelson, is very upset, feeling that Tapscott was fouled on that putback attempt.
Well, it's not like either team has been to the line more than the other. 29 free throws for UVU so far, 28 for Portland State. It's just UVU's only missed 2. Ben Aird's been the guy to miss those two. Portland State's made 22 of 28. Holton Hunsaker, though, has been perfect tonight. He's got 23 points. It's 88-83. 5-point lead for Utah Valley with 22.9 seconds to play. Second one, good. 89-83.
Don't foul here. Don't give up some type of three-point play, and defensive rebound. Crash the glass.
Odom forces it up against KT. No foul called. Rebound comes down to UVU, and a foul is called then. That one's going to go against Portland State. Stops the clock. 15.4 to play. That one being called against Michael Hartoon. His third.
Yeah, Charles Odom definitely trying to draw the foul there on Keith Thompson. Gave a nice pump fake. Did get Keith up in the air.
Well, the good news for Portland State is it's not Holton Hunsaker at the line. The bad news is Kevin Woods is perfect this season as well. He hasn't missed one all season. 90-83. 91-83. Wolverines on a 6-0 run with 15 seconds left in this game. McMullen forces it in against Woods, and Woods will be called for the foul. 11.9 to play, 8-point lead for UVU. That's going to put McMullen at the line. Lateef McMullen, his first free throw attempts on the evening coming up. Freshman guard nails the first. 91-84. Makes them both. 6-point game. 11.9 seconds left. You got to figure Portland State's probably going to try to foul.
Yep.
UVU would love to put it in the hands of that man right there. Holton Hunsaker, he is fouled just to stop the clock. Charles Odom, the senior, smart enough to know he needed to get it done. 8.8 seconds left. Odom's fourth foul. Holton Hunsaker at the free throw line for 2. He's got 24 points, his career high, 25.
I would be guessing here, Jim. I don't know what the numbers are historically for the school, but 31 of 33, 94% here in the game.
Free throw shooting.
Yeah, free throw shooting, and that's really what's put them ahead
as a team.
Yeah, definitely as a team. That's what's put them ahead, is their ability to get to the line and not only get there, convert. Where on the year they haven't been the best free throw shooting team. 61% average on the year, as we've talked about.
UVU's last 11 points now have come all at the free throw line. Holton Hunsaker, 25 points. Shot no good, followed no. Clock running out on Portland State. Did it count? Yeah, they're going to count that one. Wolverines win this one. 93-87 is the final score. What a game here at the UCCU Center. Utah Valley stays undefeated at home. They're 6-0, 6-5 overall. Portland State falls to 5-3. We're going to take a break. Back with our Costa Vida post-game show coming up after this.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
Come join the student section and cheer for the mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
All right, Utah Valley has run their record to 6-5 with the win over Portland State. Final score 93-87. Holton Hunsaker career high 26 points. Isiah Williams 20. Ben Aird 15. Geddes Robinson 11. Keith Thompson 8. It's pretty doggone amazing what these guys did. Heck of a game. Score tied 17 times. Lead changed hands 11 times. UVU's biggest lead was 14. Portland State did lead by 4 in the first half. All right, here's the stats that we want to show you. Field goals, UVU 28-52. 3-point shooting, 30%. 14 turnovers for UVU, 14 turnovers for Portland State. Portland State shoots 46% on the game. UVU shoots 54% on the game. Holton Hunsaker, 16 of 16 from the free throw line for his 26 points. All right, Matt, we're not going to be joined by Coach Dick Hunsaker, so I'll get your final thoughts on this one.
Well, I think that you have to give a lot of credit to both teams. Obviously, the Wolverines came out with the victory, but I think that Portland State can learn a lot about themselves in this game. They were down 12 points with 7 minutes and 40 seconds left, and through sheer toughness, defense, making big shots, they were able to fight their way back. The same can be said for the Wolverines. I think the statistics will tell us a lot, but the eye test will tell us so much as well. And I think that the Wolverines played very well tonight and were deserving of the victory, but a lot of credit needs to go to Portland State because of the way that they came in here and battled.
At halftime, this game was tied at 39. Second half, Wolverines never trailed. It was close, and we were tied a couple times, but the Wolverines never trailed in the second half, pushing their lead out to as many as 14. Their last, about 12 points were scored at the free throw line, make their last 11. And most of them were by Holton Hunsaker, who went 16 of 16. Wolverines improved to 6-5 on the season. Portland State falls to 5-3. Wolverines now have the week off for exams. Their next game comes up a week from tonight, right here in the UCCU Center as Georgia State comes calling. That's going to do it, Matt. Thanks for being with us, everybody. We appreciate it. Tonight's game produced by students from the Digital Media Department here at UVU. It's a copyrighted production of UVU and the Utah Valley University Sports Network. For Matt Peterson, I'm Jim McCullough saying so long from Orem, Utah.